everybody. Welcome to Sports Map HOU. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, please do so you get all of our content here, mostly Astros content because that's good in Houston. That's Josh Jordan. I'm John Granado. We're inviting you to join us for Culture Map and Sports Map on October 25th for the Tailgate, an all-out celebration of Houston sports and the fans who cheer them on. Savor Tailgate-inspired bites from your favorite restaurants, including FM Kitchen, Twin Peaks, the Waffle Bus, and more. Sip on signature drinks, enjoy game day activities, plus VIP ticket holders can meet and greet with former Houston Texan Jonathan Joseph. Tickets are on sale now. It's inexpensive, and you get all the food and the drink. It's so much fun. You come on, be out there. Use promo code SportsMap for $10 off any ticket type. Head to tailgate.culturemap.com or click the card up in the corner of your screen now to get your tickets today. Carlos Correa and the Twins sweep their way into the ALDS to face the Astros. What do you think about – I like the way this shapes up because of the pitching. They're really good at pitching, and I don't think you want to get to Duran. I don't think you want to be behind when Duran is on the mound in the ninth inning. Of course, we said that about Bautista with Baltimore, right? And they took care of that business. But Duran is – really, really good too. With using up Lopez, with using up Sonny Gray, I really like the way this thing sets up for the Astros.
I do too. I think it's probably going to be Joe Ryan and Verlander the first game, and then I think it'll be Fromber and Pablo Lopez, and then I think the third game will be Christian Javier and Sonny Gray. Unless they decide to do a three-man rotation or a 3 days rest type thing, I think that's how it's going to lay out. I was reading on The Athletic. It was really interesting. It looks like this is going to be kind of a series about strikeouts. Nobody strikes out more people than the Twins do, so that's big. And then the Twins also strike out more than anybody else, whereas the Astros, out of all the teams that qualified for the playoffs, they strike out the least. So I think the strikeouts and the long ball, Twins had more home runs than any other club in the American League this year. So I think strikeouts and home runs are going to be critical in this series.
Yeah, I like that team. Royce Lewis is a player. Carlos looks like he's back. As soon as the playoffs start, this guy just steps up. We've seen it time and again. Hate to see that happen. They are really good. This is a really, really a good baseball team, and maybe that they were playing as opposed to sitting. Plus, they got the 2 days off. They didn't go a 3-game series. They just swept it in 2 games. This Twins team looks really, really good. So it is going to be tough. But every playoff series is tough. A couple of things worry me. First, you were 2-4 against them this year. They can hit and they can pitch. And the second thing is having home field advantage, which is crazy. But is it? How are we supposed to look at that regular season? 3 games under 500 at home.
I mean, you hope that they flip the switch in the playoffs. That's what you hope. And then when they do go to Minnesota, it's going to be a little bit chilly in that outdoor stadium. So maybe that's not such a benefit being cold on the road. But it's a new series. It's a new season. And just based on the way the Astros finished off their regular season, winning 5 out of 6 when they had to do it, I think that matters. And, you know, if you talk to the players from last year when they had that break before they played the Mariners, they said getting healthy and having that rest was really big for them. I think that's true this year, too. You know, giving Brantley a few days off, giving the bullpen a few days off, a fully rested Verlander, I think that's going to matter more than the rust factor.
Yeah. Carlos had a tough year, no question, offensively. Yet he comes into the playoffs and he gets the big base hit to an RBI hit. He makes the play, throwing the runner out at home. He sneaks in behind Guerrero and puts the tag on him. Carlos Correa is a postseason legend. 60 RBIs, 60 in the postseason. Jeremy Pena, ALCS MVP, World Series MVP. So we know how clutch he is. Who has a better series?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Correa. I hate to say it, but just the strikeout factor with that Twins pitching, that worries me a little bit with Jeremy Pena. Just as far as with the bat, I think Pena will be fine. I just think maybe Correa has a slightly better series than him, but I don't know if that'll matter because, you know, with Yordan Alvarez and the boys, I think the Astros have plenty of firepower.
Yeah, and if Pena is late in the order, if he's batting 7, 8, 9, you got some protection with Altuve right behind you. But if he won't bat 9th because Maldonado will bat 9th. So he's not going to see the pitches that he would see in the 2-hole, which is where he made his name and his MVP. If Dusty bats him second, I will take Pena in that little competition. But if he bats 8th, I'm going to take Carlos Correa. Now, Correa's down in the order as well because he didn't have a big offensive series. But I just like Carlos Correa in the postseason. He's going to hit. I think there's no question about that. So I think it really depends on where Pena bats, if you want to know the truth.
Let's talk about that a little bit. We saw Dusty do it a few weeks ago, but then lately it's been Bregman hitting second. Do you think he'll change that going into the postseason, put Pena back at 2?
Well, then you got to move Bregman to 5, 4, and Tucker 5, then Abreu, then Brantley 7. I mean, Dubon 8 and Maldonado 9. I get or Chaz when Verlander's not pitching.
Yep.
I mean that's I don't know. You were a lot deeper. I think if Pena bats second, you're a lot deeper, and we know what he can do in that 2-hole and how much better he is in that 2-hole.
That's true. I was a big fan of it, but I don't know about it's the wild card with Dusty. We just don't know. And you pointed out too, Chaz, is he going to start in center field? I mean, you are at Minute Maid where he's pretty comfortable. Seems like he can cover a lot of ground out there. But is it going to be Dubon because we assume Verlander is going to start that game?
Well, and I guess you got to figure out what you're going to do. Michael Brantley's going to be in the lineup. Remember? Yep. I mean, he's a guy that's going to play as long as that shoulder holds up. Maybe he doesn't play every day. But that's a way for if he doesn't play. Now you also got Jordan that can play out there in left field too, and you can DH Michael Brantley. So I think Chaz gets. Yiner's getting squeezed in this series.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see what he does with Chaz if Chaz is out there like he was all postseason last year.
The only confidence I have with Chaz playing is when the Astros had to have it, the Mariners series and the Diamondback series. He played every game except for one, and that was that game after he got drilled in the back.
Right.
So I think, especially after Dana Brown's comments about let's get the best offense out there, you're at Minute Maid, it's not the biggest outfield in the world. I think we're going to see Chaz in center field.
Okay. Dusty don't care what you say. He doesn't care what I say. He doesn't care what Dana Brown says. He don't care. Dusty's putting his lineup out there and just don't care.